Hi, I'm Zach McClain. This is Channel 7 News. Starting off tonight, we have Jeremy's segment about Trump's first weeks in office.
Trump has been living up to promises made during the election not even a week after the inauguration. On the day of his inauguration, he signed an executive order talking about how Obamacare is to be repealed by 2018, and is also putting forth effort to push the Keystone XL pipeline and the Dakota Access Pipeline through, no doubt to the dismay of environmentalists and the local Sioux tribe. Trump's first foreign meeting will be with Russia discussing America's place in the world, and he also let loose another executive order just this week making the border wall on Mexico's border official. He still needs funding from Congress, though. He's also recently made the controversial executive order to put a travel ban on Iraq, Iran, Sudan, Yemen, Libya, Somalia, and citing 9/11 attackers originating in those countries as reasoning. However, what's interesting is that not one of those countries were where 9/11 attackers originated from, with the attackers actually being from Saudi Arabia. Whether you agree with Trump or not, he certainly has a plan and certainly is executing his promises that he made during the election.
That was wonderful, Jeremy. Now we're going over to Joel Atkins on racism.
Hi, I'm Joel Atkins. Today I'm here to talk to you about a very important matter in our country nowadays. And it's a really big problem, and a lot of people are making a really big deal out of it, and they should, because it's a big problem. It's racism. It's been a problem for a really long time, and it seems like it's a part of human nature, but really it's not. It's a thing that's taught by the way people grow up and the environment people grow up around. And recently, supposedly, it's been getting worse. According to a study done by the Washington Post, 72% of African Americans and 63% of white Americans say that racism is actually getting worse. As the generations go on, people are learning how to deal with it better and are realizing how wrong it is. Here I talked to a high school student in Norman North to hear her thoughts about it.
Racism is horrible. There's fights over it in school, and it makes people feel really uncomfortable and like a victim of another attack. If someone uses, I don't know what that word is. Don't laugh at me.
Slurs.
Racist slurs towards another person, it makes them feel downgraded and not want to be the race that they are and not proud of who they are or what they want to be or whatever.
We should all keep in mind So, thinking about what she said, we should all keep in mind each other's feelings and the way that we can affect each other with our words. It should never be our goal to make others feel less wanted or ashamed of where they came from. We should treat everybody equally, because in the end, we're all human and we all have to share this planet anyways. I've been Joel Atkins. Back to you, Zach.
Thank you, Joel. Now we're over to Cody about library book vandalism.
Go.
We've all gotten books in the library where pages were torn out, written in, highlighted, scribbled on. And I'm here to talk with Miss Garrett, the Norman North School librarian, about how much money she thinks it costs the school annually, monthly, for vandalized books.
Okay, but before we begin, I'd also like to introduce you to our newest librarian. Because we're such a big school, we actually have two librarians here at Norman North, Miss Kordelsky. And Miss Kordelsky, would you like to say a few things about where you were before Norman North?
I've been at Irving Middle School for the last 7 years and moved up to North in October.
Yay. Okay, so we're talking about I'm thinking probably not just vandalism of books, but books lost through kids just not bringing them back, or maybe having put them in their backpacks without actually having checked them out. Another verb for that is called, sorry to say it, but stealing. Ms. Kordelsky, what would you say?
So we just placed a really large book order, and I would say probably 10% of our budget went to replacing books that pages are falling out or somebody's written in them, but mostly they've just disappeared and we don't have anymore.
And we get it, that's, often our job is to replace books that have been well loved, and that we're happy to do, meaning that book has been read multiple times. But one way that we're avoiding that is by buying books on overdrive.
Yes. So Overdrive books can't fall apart and they can't be stolen because they're online. So you can check out an ebook or an audiobook, and when your time is up, it comes back to the library and moves on to the next person in line. And we don't have to worry about anybody leaving it in their car or at the grandma's or out at the football field or wherever they happen to have lost their book.
The nice thing also about Overdrive is that once you've checked out an Overdrive book, it will be on your phone or your device. You don't have to actually come physically to the library, and you can check that out, and you'll always have a book with you, which is always a good thing.
And ebooks and, well, especially the audiobooks on Overdrive are a vast improvement over what we used to have, which were these little bitty cartridges called playaways, and they broke all the time. And they were very expensive, and they didn't last very long. We're having to discard them and get another one to replace it. So this really saves us a lot of money in the long run with ebooks and audiobooks.
If you're not sure about how to use Overdrive, come to the library. Ms. Kordelsky and I will be happy to help you.
And then I've also talked with a student who said that writing the book, highlighting the book, and labeling certain rhetorical devices or figurative language, it helped them with their comprehension and their learning.
Absolutely, and we encourage them to do that with their own book. So using annotation in a book, using close reading is absolutely a great academic skill to have, and it does help a student to have a better understanding of that particular book, or to have a better understanding of what the author was getting at when they were writing that book.
If you don't have your own copy and want to use the library's copy, Post-it notes are your very best friend. So you can write all of your annotations on a Post-it note and stick them in the book, and then you can keep your Post-it notes after you have to turn the book back into the library. We're going to throw out Overdrive again because it will let you annotate in the Overdrive app, so you can still highlight and look at definitions and things like that without actually doing it.
Recently, there was a robbery at a local sporting goods store. 10 guns were stolen. Police responders said that the robbers got in due to a window being broken by a rock. If you have seen or have contact with these criminals, please contact your local police station. There's a $5,000 reward for finding the criminals or the guns.
And now we head over to Zach McClain on the scene at Dick's Sporting Goods and more.
All right, so today, this morning, approximately 1 a.m., we had an unknown group of people decide to show up at Dick's Sporting Goods. They used a rock to breach the front window of the business, at which then they entered the business and stole several guns. We're still working on getting the serial numbers off those guns and make some models so we can figure out which ones were stolen. If we have anybody in the community that knows anything about what happened, we ask that you reach out to us and give us that information. It's greatly appreciated. But that's all we have for right now.
Hi, I'm Zach McClain. I'm here with Joel Adkins, owner of Dick's Sporting Goods. Joel, what happened here?
So we had a few guys decide that they needed to break into my store last night, and they stole some valuable firearms from us. And if anybody knows anything, just help us out, please, because we're trying to get those back so nobody gets hurt.
Joel Adkins. Thank you. Thank you, Cody. Now we're over to Gabby about Rogue One, the new Star Wars movie.
Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and I'm with Jeremy. We're going to be talking about the new Rogue One movie. So, how do you think it fits in with the rest of the Star Wars movies?
It ends right at the beginning of the first movie with Princess Leia getting on the ship and going to take the plans for the Death Star back to her home planet of Alderaan. And it is there she gets intercepted by Darth Vader, which is the start of Episode 4, A New Hope, aka the first movie.
Very nice. And what about the CGI?
The CGI in Rogue One was very interesting. What they managed to do was recreate Princess Leia and make her look like how she did almost 30 years ago now. However, there were some complaints.
And if there was another spin-off within the series, would you suggest people to go see it?
Absolutely, more Star Wars the better, am I right?
There you go, there you guys have it.